Gentleman from Kentucky, Mr. Barr, is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I yield myself such time as I may consume.
Gentleman is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I rise in support of H.R. 1988, the Protect Affordable Mortgages for Veterans Act, introduced by my friend, the gentleman from Georgia, Mr. Scott. This bill is an important continuation of work that our colleague Lee Zeldin from Long Island, who is a lieutenant colonel in the Army Reserves, started last Congress to better protect our nation's veterans from financial fraud. This Congress, I was pleased to join Congressman Scott and Zeldin as an original co-sponsor of this legislation, along with my colleague on the House Veterans Affairs Committee, Congressman Levin, to assist with advancing this bill through both this committee, the Financial Services Committee, and the House Veterans Affairs Committee. Last year, Congress enacted S. 2155, the most pro-growth banking bill in a generation. Section 309 of that legislation included a provision to impose a new seasoning requirement for the securitization of loans insured by the VA. This provision addresses the questionable practice of churning, that is, the refinancing of a home loan over and over again just to generate fees and profits for lenders with a slight short-term benefit for the borrower, but at an increased life of the loan cost. Unfortunately, that provision created a technical issue for a group of VA loans that fell into no man's land, if you will, between the date on which the mortgage was issued and the technical requirements of the new law, increasing the risk to lenders and making the loans less attractive to investors. Congressman Zeldin and Scott took quick action to correct this unintended consequence, but Congress ran out of time last year and it did not become law. The bill we are considering today, H.R. 1988, is a continuation of their efforts to address this unintended problem and ensure that these VA loans receive the equitable treatment they deserve. To some, this bill today might seem to be just a technical fix, but it is an important one. Our nation's veterans should not be subject to suspect practices like churning. I'm pleased that this bill, along with the ongoing efforts of the VA loan securitizer Ginnie Mae, will stamp out churning and better protect veterans. I urge my colleagues to support H.R. 1988, and once again, I commend my colleague from Georgia, Mr. Scott. I reserve the balance of my time.